The roar of engines surrounds me like a frenzied symphony, each note clashing violently against the next. An overwhelming blast of light engulfs my vision, hot and radiant, forcing me to squint against its intensity. It feels as though I am a moth drawn irresistibly to a flame, heart racing with both anticipation and terror. The vibrations thrum through my body, each tremor a reminder of the power poised at the edge of a vast unknown. Then the acrid smell of smoke hits me, invasive and sharp, curling into my nostrils like a long-lost ghost. I try to focus, to block out the panic swelling within, but the stench claws at my throat, choking me. The chaos intensifies, alarms blaring around me, each shriek cutting through the blanket of sound, wrapping me in an embrace of dread. My heartbeat quickens, a frantic drum echoing against the thick metal walls, drowning my thoughts in raw instinct. I feel the heat creeping closer, a searing energy that threatens to engulf everything I've ever known. And then the realization hits, a suffocating weight, the instinctual recognition of danger that seeps into my bones. I glance frantically around, seeking comfort among faces twisted with terror, a shared fear binding us momentarily. And yet, I feel so alone. There is no more time for reason or logic. The world narrows into a tunnel of sound and sensation, pulling me deeper into the chaos. The air thickens, heavy and electric. I choke on the rising smoke, the panic roiling in my chest like a beast demanding to escape. I can hear the panic rising, voices intertwining with the alarms, a cacophony of shouts drowned by the ever-growing roar. I cling to the fleeting memories of love, of dreams still yet to be fulfilled. My heart aches, not just for myself, but for those I might leave behind. The weight of worlds hangs heavy in my mind, promises unmade, laughter yet to be shared. Time slips away like water through my fingers. A sudden jolt grips the craft, a violent shake that rattles my very soul. The ground beneath me seems to shift, and I feel unmoored, adrift in an ocean of uncertainty. In that moment, everything conflates: fear, hope, despair. I can feel the heat gathering, the chaotic energy converging into an inevitability that I cannot escape. Then a silence descends, an eerie calm. I cannot comprehend the stillness that blankets the turmoil, as though the universe itself is holding its breath. I close my eyes against the overwhelming sensations, seeking refuge in the quiet, yearning for a sense of safety that has vanished. Darkness envelops me, heavier than any weight I've ever known, lifting away the layers of sound and chaos. In that void, time unravels, and I float. My heartbeat slows, a gentle echo fading into nothingness. I drift into the depths, suspended in silence and shadow, wondering if this is how it ends. The frantic world I once inhabited dissolves, leaving behind only the bare essence of who I am, a whisper carried away on a breeze until it becomes one with the dark. I awaken, though I do not know if this place is awakenness or an after. I float, free of my body, an echo suspended in endless time. I search through the haze, and I feel it, a pulse of memory, a wind of thoughts that brush against my stillness. I was James, I remember, my name blossoming like a forgotten flower in a field of grief. A mission specialist, I whisper to the void, eager to define the self that now drifts without form or tether. In this suspended reality, waves of emotion crash against me. Love swells in my chest, heavy as a burden yet light as a feather. How strange that something so essential could persist beyond flesh and bone. I recall the spark of excitement coursing through me that day, a historic event unfolding under a vast sky, our spirits intertwined with dreams of exploration. I remember my colleagues smiling, their eyes reflecting the weight of ambition, as if we were gods atop our little chariot, poised to touch the stars. But a darker view lingers just below the surface. I feel it gnaw at my spirit, the looming dread, a thief of light that steals into our hearts when we simply remember. I recall the moment before the ascent, standing in the gleaming spacecraft, the scent of metal and promise surrounding me. My heart danced with anticipation, yet there was a flicker of fear that tried to push its way through, a whisper of turmoil insisting something wasn't right. I abandoned it then, too caught up in the thrill of the moment, too entranced by the future we envisioned. More than just a mission, I was about to be part of history. Yet, lurking just beyond my thoughts was the ache of leaving behind the family that wrapped my heart in warmth. I think of her, my beloved, Sarah, with her laugh that could drown out any storm. What if, I had wondered silently, imagining her waiting for me at home, so full of life, promising that our bond was something celestial to be cherished. It was the quiet strength in her voice that soothed me amidst the busy bluster of the launch. "You'll come back to me, James," I can hear her say. I can see the way her eyes sparkled with unwavering faith, the way she clutched my hand tightly, grounding me in the moment. Those wedding vows replay like a favorite song that rumbles in the air, each note tinged with emotion. In sickness and in health, for better or worse. I wish I could reach out, intertwine my fingers with hers once more, feel the reassuring warmth of her presence. But now I can only echo on this edge of existence, caught between what was and what could have been. Anxiety simmers in my thoughts. Did I have the chance to tell her that I loved her beyond any mission, that she was my true adventure? Time ebbs and flows in this ethereal space, and I realize how deeply I long to reconnect with her, to share every moment unsaid, every unfulfilled promise. I can still hear her soft laughter, mellifluous against the cacophony of life. Memories of familiar places, the sprawl of blooming wildflowers in the park where we first kissed, the corner cafe where we spent lazy afternoons, trading dreams over cups of coffee. The echo of our shared life rests on the brink of my grasp, and I yearn to dive into it, to reclaim the pieces of love that now flicker like dying stars. But beneath the nostalgia stirs something deeper. There are lingering secrets, fragments untold. In the depths of my consciousness lies a sense of something unfinished, a note left unwritten. I remember that promise, embedded in the ring I once slipped onto her finger, an emblem of our love, cradling secrets and dreams entwined. I had thought it a treasure, a token of devotion, yet I didn't comprehend the weight it would come to hold, or the truths whispered only to the void. I let out a breath, releasing my wish to solidify. It's an exhalation, a sigh of longing that stretches into the illusion of this liminal space. This is my echo, a voice carried forward through the reach of time, a longing wrapped in a veil of melancholy. And with it comes a bittersweet understanding. While I may be adrift in this ethereal realm, she remains anchored in the memories we built, the stories we spun together. I hope then that the ring remains, that it glimmers just as brightly as the day I gave it to her. Perhaps it will tie our souls together once again, a final bridge connecting our joys and sorrows. In this moment of reflection, clarity emerges. My heart swells with ethereal light, knowing that even without a body, I can carry her essence with me, intertwined with every breath of thought. I am still here, Sarah. I whisper into the flow of eternity, feeling her warmth embrace me across the divide. I hold on to that echo, an indelible truth that time cannot erode, a promise that knows no boundaries. Time folds itself around me, seconds chaotically overlapping, memories flooding in waves like the rolling tides of an unseen ocean. I drift through the hours leading up to the launch, before the chaos, the clanging of alarms, the heat pressing against my chest like a fist. Moments flicker, vivid yet delicate, a fragile tapestry woven with ordinary threads. I remember the morning sun spilling through our kitchen window, bathing everything in a golden hue, both soothing and misleading, as if trying to prepare me for what lay ahead. Sarah stirred sugar into her coffee, her laughter light, ringing through the air like the sweetest melody. "You'll be okay, right? Just remember to breathe," she teased gently, her gaze steady, though I caught an anxious spark hidden within. I smiled, but it felt fragile, like sponge sugar, delicate and potentially evaporating under the weight of reality. How could I expect her to understand the enormity of what lay ahead? The gentle steam from my own cup curled in the air, mingling with the scent of fresh pastries from a nearby bakery. I can feel the familiar comfort of home surrounding me, wrapping around my heart like a soft embrace. I treasured that morning together, our quiet routine, the exchange of simple glances filled with unspoken promises. "Today is the day," I whispered to her, trying to mask the pulse of trepidation at the edge of my words. In that kitchen, I reached for her hand, fingers entwining, grounding myself in her warmth. I glanced at the ring resting atop the counter, sunlight reflecting off its surface, sending shards of light dancing around us. I could hear the future whispering sweetly, unraveling like ribbons of joy between our fingers. Yet there was a storm lurking within me, a secret I dared not voice, an echo of uncertainty that had settled in the pit of my stomach since the countdown began. The memory shifts, presenting itself in snapshots. I see myself at the launch site, heart pounding in rhythm with the countdown echoing around, colleagues bustling about, laughter and camaraderie masking an undercurrent of fear. I notice a colleague glancing nervously at the shuttle, brows knitted, mouth drawn tight. Did I ignore the signs? Did I turn a blind eye in favor of hope? As the final moments approached, I recall the taste of dread. The countdown echoed in our hearts, steady and relentless. T-10. The voice intoned with a calm confidence that contrasted with the escalating tension thrumming in my veins. The hurried farewells exchanged, optimistic smiles framed by apprehension. The chaotic hum of machinery seemed to blend with the pulse of my own heartbeat. Excitement surged, yet caution lurked in the corners of my mind. I think back to the heavy embrace I shared with Sarah before leaving. I can almost feel the warmth of her body against mine, the scent of her hair wrapping around me like a memory I never want to forget. "Come back safe," she urged, her eyes trembling ever so slightly as they locked onto mine. Did I see fear there, hidden beneath the surface, or was it my own? As I prepared to climb aboard, I remember one last moment, a lingering hesitation before stepping into the sleek metal cockpit. The thrill of the launch was intoxicating, but something tugged at my heart, a premonition I could not articulate. I waved goodbye one last time, the sunlight glinting off my ring, and then I was inside, cloaked in machinery and anxiety, focusing on the mission that awaited us. With that final thought, the feeling of unease tumbles throughout my consciousness. Knots of fate twist like a vine, each decision tethered to the next, some so mundane, yet monumental in their insignificance. I had brushed the unsettled thoughts away, pushed them aside like a child discarding a spent toy. Now I float here, suspended between time, echoing through the moments that led us to catastrophe. Regret weighs heavy, a crushing reminder of the reality I left behind. Yet there's an inkling of resolution simmering beneath the surface. Perhaps these memories spill forth not just to remind me of what was lost, but to illuminate the fragments of life too often overlooked. What did I truly want? What did the flight mean for my love, my life, my promises? I am reminded now, it was about more than exploration or glory. It was about the bond I had with her, the life we shared, and the journey intertwined within every glance and whispered vow. I adjust my focus and draw in what remains of those fleeting moments, each memory a brushstroke composing the canvas of my existence. I breathe the essence of those final hours, the bittersweet dance of love and fear swirling within my echo. In the shadows of this liminal space, the past becomes as palpable as the real-life embrace of Sarah, warm, inviting, forever etched into the fabric of my consciousness. For it's in this dance of time that I find solace, seeking a path through the sorrow, embracing the beauty that once was. A shiver runs through me as I drift through the tapestry of memory, and I feel the heaviness of a tangible presence breaking free from the folds of time. A surge of warmth brings a smile to my essence, and the echoes of those moments manifest into something more substantial, something I can almost touch. Then, suddenly, there it is, manifesting from the shadows, the ring. It had always seemed so trivial, a simple band of metal crafted into a symbol of what we shared. But now, as I grasp at its essence, I realize its true weight. That ring was the promise of infinity wrapped around her finger. The sun glinted off it in the morning light, each reflection a heartbeat shared, a vow exchanged. I can feel its surface beneath my fingertip. Cold, yet rich with the warmth of our shared laughter, of the dreams we had woven together. This was no ordinary trinket. It was the keeper of secrets unspoken, the container of our shared moments, the silent witness to our love that transcended time. I can see it now, nestled in the little velvet box where I had placed it when I left, carefully tucked away, awaiting my return. I remember the day I bought it, how my heart raced with anticipation as I envisioned the moment I would slip it onto her finger. Forever, I had thought, filled with youthful naivete. Perhaps I had hoped that a physical symbol would somehow anchor our boundless affection into the realm of reality. And now it carries so many unexpressed words. Will she ever know of my yearning? Will she feel the truth behind this band, these memories? My spirit aches with the desire to reach across the chasm and whisper my truths to her. The ring, suspended in that soft blue velvet, holds the weight of the promises we made, the laughter we shared, the plans we sketched against the canvas of the universe. My essence lingers near that box, cocooned in the comfort of fading dreams, witnessing a dance of moments. Sarah, on that late autumn evening, fingers trembling as she slipped the ring onto her own and let it sit against her heart. The sun set behind her, wrapping her in a golden glow, making her look almost ethereal. "I can't believe this is real," she had whispered, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "You're my everything." That moment lingers, whispering like a gentle breeze. I want to reach out, to shake the grief from my being so that I can nestle close to her once more, wrap my love around her like a warm embrace. But the echoes grow faint, and all I can do is watch as she slips the box into a drawer, the promise of forever tucked away, seemingly lost to the world. Days turn into weeks, where I linger in the liminal space around her. I follow her as she navigates the routines of life, the mundane moments that often feel so monumental in hindsight. I see the sunrise casting a tender light into our kitchen. I see her brew coffee, pull out the memories of shared mornings, laughter over toast and jam. But now, the warmth of those memories feels achingly distant, as if the shadows of my absence have cloaked our shared spaces in melancholy. One afternoon, I settle in the rhythm of the day, nudging softly against her consciousness as she lies in bed, glancing at the empty space next to her where I once rested. I can sense the fluid passage of time folding around her like silk, and I watch the subtle flicker of grief glittering in her eyes. Her heart seems restless, aching for something she cannot reclaim. Perhaps she searches for me in the spaces between the walls, and the rustle of leaves outside, and the echoes of our song, stuck like a cherished note at the tip of her tongue. In time, I notice her hesitation shift. The ring, a once bright flash, is set aside, waiting, forever waiting. But the tenderness morphs into resignation, a bittersweet longing now heavy in her chest. I ache for her, But I cannot intervene, can only float through the decisions she makes and the memories that dance around like moths drawn to the flicker of light. Then comes the day when reality merges with time, and Sarah finally opens that drawer, her fingers trembling as they brush against the fabric of the box. What she does not know is that with each motion, threads of connection weave through the air, knitting her to me once more. I am curious about her thoughts, her heart, the secrets weighing her down. What has she yearned to say, to express? The truth calls from beyond the fold, echoing between us. As her fingers draw the box into light, I hold my breath in anticipation. I want to shout, to scream, to tell her that I am still here, hovering in the space between life and loss. Each flicker of hope swells in my heart as she opens the velvet fabric and gasps at the sight waiting within. The world fades around us, a gentle hush enveloping the moment. "James," she whispers, a name heavy with emotion that wraps around my soul. In her surprise, I feel her heart racing, a tremor of hope resonating with love despite the chasm that separates us. Time slows, and I want to encompass her, to let her know that my essence has never abandoned her. "You're still with me," she sighs, her hand hovering above the ring, as if afraid to disturb the beauty captured within. In this fleeting moment of recognition, warmth floods my spirit, for at last the connection is reignited, and I understand that love transcends even the weight of death. I am with her, and she holds the key to our boundless promise woven together within that gleaming circle. With a profound clarity, I recognize this. Love is timeless, and in this truth, we find a pathway to heal even amidst the echoes of loss. The shimmering connection pulses with life, as I witness Sarah's fingertips delicately tracing the contours of the ring, reminiscing about the moments forged in its presence. I drift nearby, my essence charged with emotions, love, sorrow, hope, and an overwhelming desire to bridge the chasm that stretches between us. "James," she breathes again. The way my name rolls off her tongue seems to stir the very fabric of existence. Each syllable wraps around me, a gentle caress across my spaceless form. Hope ignites my heart as I focus on her, wanting to share this moment, to reach out and connect in ways beyond mere memory. As her eyes glisten with unshed tears, I am drawn into the depths of her heart. Her memories cascade over me like falling leaves in autumn, moments of joy and sorrow, laughter and despair. Flashbacks dance around, intertwining our pasts, binding us together with the familiarity of shared experiences. That night of our first kiss, the surprise birthday party she organized, the quiet afternoons we spent lost in books, each cherished instance glows like a star in the night sky. I feel her longing stretch across time. Grief wraps around her, nearly suffocating. Yet I sense a shift. A sliver of joy begins to penetrate the cloud that has settled over her heart. I yearn to tell her that she is not alone in this time of anguish, that I feel her sadness, her joy, and every tremor in between. I want her to know that our love has not vanished. It has transformed, traversing the threshold where existence crumbles into memory. "And they said forever, right?" she murmurs softly, laughing through the tears. And in that sound, I feel the lightness of hope begin to unfurl within her. But forever feels so short. I sense her thoughts drifting into reflections of what could have been, what should have been. The words swirl around me like tendrils of mist as I long for a moment of connection, pushing gently against the boundaries that separate us. With each heartbeat, I remember the moment I first proposed, the way her eyes shimmered under the string lights, how the world blurred when she said yes. That promise of forever seemed to light us both ablaze, igniting a spark that I still feel resonating across the divide. As she rises to her feet, the ring cradled carefully in her palms, I float with her, my heart sinking to her pulse, feeling the connection like an invisible thread pulling taut. We navigate the living space that used to be our sanctuary, but now feels akin to quiet walls, unable to echo our laughter. She glides toward the window, staring outside, and I can sense the weight of her memories heavy in that stillness. "Look at the life we built," she whispers, her voice trembling with the potency of nostalgia. "The plants you took care of, every tiny detail. I can't believe it was all captured in these moments." I take it in, the remnants of our life pressed into every corner. Dishes in the sink, a half-read book resting on the coffee table, the faint scent of her perfume still lingering in the air like a soft embrace. Suddenly, the enormity of what lies between us becomes evident. She is alive, breathing, filled with life, while I'm now a flickering, haunting shadow hovering in a world beyond touch. My heart aches with a bittersweet yearning as I grasp the slider door, willing it to open, to fold time and distance, and give me access to her once more. The emptiness reverberates through me, echoing the unfulfilled moments we envisioned together. In her gaze, I see determination emerge, a flicker of strength as she clutches the ring. "You were my everything, James," she admits, tears creeping from the corners of her eyes, glistening like fragile stars. "And I thought I would never be whole again." The weight of her truth settles heavy, filling the space with the profundity of loss and love intertwined. With that admission, I feel the pull of energy flicker between us, warm and stirring, igniting the bond we created in life. I want to scream it back to her. "You are whole. You carry me with you. Our love never faded." I can only hold on to that truth, letting it permeate the air around us like a whisper, yearning to break through the silence that lingers. Our eyes connect through the veil that separates us, and I see the light begin to guide her. She clenches the ring tighter, and I know that she is not alone in this sorrow. The connection flickers as she breathes deeply, grounding herself in the realization that love is resilient. It colors the past, shapes the present, and whispers hopes for the future. Then, at that shimmering moment, Sarah lifts the delicate ring to her chest, resting it against her heart, and I feel a wave of clarity wash over us, dissolving the grief that had weighed her down. The invisible bridge we held stretches, embracing the precious moments we shared, the laughter and dreams wrapped around each other in beautiful chaos. It's an instantaneous realization that fills the space with warmth. "I will always carry you with me, James," she murmurs, as the air shifts, filling with the fragrance of blooming hope. "You taught me how to love and how to live, even in loss. I won't forget." Her voice sends a cascade of joy through my being, and I can almost taste the sweet release of emotion. With each word, the gap between us collapses, and I feel an uplifting light erupt in response, a manifestation of our bond, born anew from the ashes of sorrow. "I am always here," I call out softly, bathing her with the essence of understanding, of memories, of the love that still binds us. And in that, I realize, we are not broken. Rather, we are two pieces of a whole, each carrying the echoes of love, laughter, and an eternal connection that cannot be snuffed out even by death. And as I drift closer, I recognize that perhaps this is the moment we both needed, the realization that love remains, unyielding, transcending time and place. I feel lighter, freer, knowing that the bond we share will forever illuminate both of our paths, weaving our stories into something beautiful, even amidst the chaos. In this ethereal state of being, I find myself suspended in the expanse between time and memory, floating freely while tethered to the rhythm of Sarah's heartbeat. I keenly feel the warmth radiating from her chest where the ring rests, that small circle of metal holding the weight of our intertwined histories. Every echo of laughter, every whispered secret pulses softly, intertwining with my essence, creating a tapestry of remembrance that both comforts and inspires. As I linger, I enter a serene limbo, a transient world of memories and emotions spiraling like a gentle fog around me. Time feels fluid here. Seconds stretch like elastic bands before snapping back into place, drawing me into moments where joy and sorrow coexist. I witness fragments of our life together float by, mercurial and vivid. It's as if I am peering through a fogged glass, grasping at fleeting impressions of life once lived. Soft kisses under the stars, quiet nights spent tangled in sheets, and the sun-dappled afternoons in our garden. And in this limbo, I sense whispers, voices that once filled my ears, the cheerful chatter of family and friends echoing through the years. So many conversations drift past me as I watch Sarah's face alight with remembrance. I yearn to join her in those memories, to be a part of the symphony we once created. But there's a gentleness to the experience, a palpable understanding that this is a space for reflection rather than reunion. I close my eyes, surrendering to the soft pool of nostalgia, allowing my essence to drift along the currents of our shared existence. I feel fragmented, yet whole, suspended between the past I've left behind and the present she embraces. There's an overwhelming sense of peace threading through the chaos. I am learning, I whisper into the ether, wishing my words could resound through the fabric of reality, weaving their way to her heart. Time ebbs and flows around me, the cadence fluctuating freely as I float in the warm embrace of our memories. I feel every detail as palpable as the wind brushing against my skin, the afternoon light filtering through autumn leaves, the scent of fresh coffee wafting through the air as we created routines from the mundane. I savor the joy that punctuated our days, transforming the ordinary into extraordinary through love. But then, like a slow tide, darker memories surface. The weight of unspoken regret tugs at the edges of my being, pulling me back towards the reality of our fractured existence. I see her pain, the heartache swirling in the void left behind, every word unuttered, every moment unshared. I know I cannot shield her from the truth of loss, nor do I want to. This is part of our bond, a shared journey of healing that cannot be rushed. And so I float within this pivotal space, embraced by memory, yet aware of the sorrow coiling tightly around her spirit. For I can sense her moments of doubt, the flickering thoughts of whether she'll find solace in a life without me, whether the love we built will slowly fade like the sun dipping below the horizon. I want to cradle her fears in my essence, to infuse them with understanding. But I am constrained by the ethereal boundaries of life and death. I'm here, I whisper, echoing through the folds of time. Always here. As if the essence of my voice crackles through the atmosphere, I can feel the pulse of connection, weaving strands of hope into the void. I watch with unwavering faith as the memories play on, revealing glimpses of healing amid despair. Sarah breathes deeply, pulling strength from the depth of sentiment captured within that ring. She begins to reflect on the joy we shared, the warmth of love set against the cold reality of loss. In that liminal space, I see her anguish transform. Her eyes lift as she reaches out toward the sun streaming through the window, casting her silhouette in golden hues. In this moment, she learns that remembering is not merely dwelling on what has been lost, but a celebration of what has endured and transformed. Time flows like gentle water, and I am captivated by the realization. Grief, once so suffocating, can shape into a guiding light. This metamorphosis is not merely an acceptance of absence, but an affirmation of love's lasting impact. It becomes clear that while I may no longer walk beside her, Our hearts remain connected, and such connection does not ebb with the tide of life. I draw closer, wanting to infuse her with the warmth of my love, a tender embrace wrapping around her spirit, offering solace and courage. Grow for us both, I implore softly, a whisper that echoes between realms. I witness her acknowledge me in a way that transcends the boundaries of time, feeling the indelible bond snaking through and illuminating her heart anew. As the days pass, the gentle embrace of memory lingers, intertwining with newfound strength. I feel her easing into the comfort of our shared moments, feeling the sweetness of laughter fill spaces once reserved for grief. The walls that confined her begin to dissolve, revealing the light she had almost forgotten existed. Together, in this unfolding dance of love, we navigate the transitions, the growth, each step forward imbued with the echoes of us. I soak in moments of connection, attending to the vibrant threads woven into our narratives, allowing for healing and rebirth. And then, as I flow deeper into this liminal space, I can see the memory of a starburst, feel that radiant burst of love wash over us both, the vitality of our bond merging seamlessly with the beauty of the universe beyond. My essence stirs with recognition, and even in our separation, I feel invincible. In truth, while my earthly body may have departed, I have only transformed. As I drift in this limbo, weaving through moments past and present, I embrace the rhythm of love enduring beyond life, an essence that cannot be extinguished, but rather will forever illuminate the path of those who remain. I smile, fully aware that love finds a way to persist even amidst the echoes of loss, creating a bridge that transcends the boundary separating us. As time unfolds in this ethereal space, I feel a powerful urge to connect with Sarah once more. The warmth of her spirit beckons me, and I sense that our bond, woven from love and memory, continues to thrive and grow. Each day, as she moves through her life, I observe with a deep sense of hope, eager to witness her transition from grief to renewal. Those early days after the ring's rediscovery were laden with sorrow, yet now I see the light returning to her eyes. She embraces the memories we created, allowing the laughter, once buried under grief, to bubble up and paint her world anew. Her journey of healing has begun to blossom, step by step. One poignant afternoon, I see Sarah stand in the living room, our cherished garden visible through the window as she clutches the ring in her hands. The sunlight streams in, illuminating her like a halo. I drift closer, wrapping my essence around her, channeling all my love toward her heart. "You are never alone," I whisper softly, hoping she feels the protective warmth enveloping her. "James, I'm trying to live again," she confesses, looking out at the swaying flowers. The resolve in her voice resonates like a gentle anthem in the air, affirming what I've long known: she has begun to flourish. Each day, I see her embrace small moments, planting new flowers, reveling in nature where life once seemed absent. It invigorates me to feel this renewal, a testament to the power of love's resilience, how it can coexist with the ebbs and flows of life. I float beside her, lending strength where I can, recognizing the beauty woven within her newfound courage. On a particularly crisp equinox day, Sarah decides to return to our favorite cafe, a place woven deeply into the fabric of our history. I accompany her, eager to re-experience the joy tied to those memories. As she steps through the familiar door, a wave of warmth envelops me, echoing past laughter and the sweetness of togetherness. The cafe buzzes with life, laughter spilling over in the air. Sarah finds a seat by the window, glancing at the brightly colored leaves swirling in the autumn breeze. I can see her hesitance, the pull of nostalgia weighing on her heart, wrestling with the sweet memory of the us that filled these spaces. My spirit surrounds her, urging her to embrace the joy without guilt. "James, look how beautiful it is here," she murmurs, her voice trembling slightly as memories wash over her like a tide. Thank you for everything. I feel my essence radiate at her words, connecting us through the gentle folds of shared recollection. She holds the ring lightly, as if to affirm our bond, to acknowledge that love remains even as time unfurls the layers of sorrow. In that moment, Sarah's smile breaks free like morning light piercing through the clouds. She laughs, a genuine sound that dances in the air, as she remembers the coffee dates we shared, the little rituals that colored our lives together. Watching her embrace these memories fills me with indescribable joy. Our love is not confined to the past, but rather lives vibrantly in the richness of her spirit. Yet there's an understanding that lingers. It's not just about preserving the past, but also about creating new memories. I want to whisper to her that I am here, urging her to leap into the future. Live for both of us, I implore softly. And then I feel it. An undeniable surge of energy flows from her, a recognition that she can cultivate joy and grow. I will keep moving forward, she declares aloud, rolling her shoulders back, the weight of uncertainty lifted. With you beside me. With those words, I sense the invisible bond between us strengthening, illuminating the path ahead. The transformation is complete. The heaviness of sorrow morphed into a celebration of love everlasting. I smile within the confines of my ethereal form, my spirit light and liberated, knowing that while I may have departed, my presence still lingers, a bridge of love connecting our real worlds. As the sun dips lower, casting a warm glow, I feel Sarah's heart begin to embrace hope anew, her laughter ringing like a symphony in the distance, echoing the truth of our enduring connection. Together, we've crafted a new reality, woven from love that transcends time and space. In that realization lies profound peace, not just for her, but for me as well, guiding both our hearts toward an eternity of shared existence.